I'm just going to let Andy Bailey take the stage, and everybody just give him a round of applause.
Thank you, man. Thanks for fixing my audio, too. All right, so before we start, there's two people in the room I want to recognize really fast. None of this shit happens without these two people. So Lindsay, Trisha, come to the front of the room, please. Come up, come up, come up, come up. This is for you. Thank you for the communication level you gave me was unbelievable. Picking me up and taking care of me and making sure.
You hear that?
Yeah. Just get her a little gift sometime.
Just a marriage thing going on here.
Open that box. And then this is for you. You get one of the
you.
special Petra takeaway things as well. So I think you'll like this. While she's doing that, I got a quick question. How many of you, who are the entrepreneurs in the room? Just so I got a feel for the room real quick. All right. Yeah, it's a Bobble Yoda doll. So put that on your desk. No try, only do. Give them a round of applause for all the work they do to make you guys look awesome. Team members of entrepreneurs in the room. Yeah, all entrepreneurs, give these guys a round of applause because they show up every day to make your dreams come true. Don't ever, ever, ever forget that. Your team members show up every day to make your dreams come true, right? So they're there working for your dream. Don't forget that. How many of you have a business plan for their business? You guys know that? Like a business plan? Something that you look, what's this mean? This means no. Kind of means no, yeah. That you look at on a regular basis, usually quarterly, maybe once a year. You make adjustments to it as you go, right? So raise your hand, you got this, right? So you got a business plan that you look at on a, how the hell are you in business without a business plan? Business plans, raise your hand. Now, keep your hands up. Keep your hands up if you at least have something as detailed that you review on a regular basis, make adjustments to for your life. For your life. You know, that thing that you're living, that. How? Nice job.
Down or in my head?
What do you think? Now, I want you to think about how ridiculous what just happened in this room is. Business is business, life is life. Which is more valuable? Life. Yeah, man, you get one trip around, right? You're treating your business better than you treat your life. And that's what we're here to talk about, is your life. We're not going to talk about business in here. I coach businesses all day, every day. Our company's all over North America doing it today. I mean, they got troops all over the place doing that. But it's all about you, the individual, and the individuals inside of your companies and the individuals inside of your homes. That's what matters. So I'm going to start us off with, I call this 6 minutes of foreplay. It is very cold up here, so we need a little bit of foreplay. 6 minutes is a lot. Oh, hang on. It'll go quickly, don't you worry. Let's see if we got sound. We do have sound.
Self-discipline is the center of all material success. 99% of people are not willing to do what it takes to make their dreams come true. The Marines have a saying, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. And that's just real. At the center of bringing any dream into fruition is self-discipline. Something as simple as food and eating. It is not about your body as much as it is about your mind. It's getting command of your mind to be able to choose actions that are in your own best interest.
A lot of people are just trying to change. A lot of times, like I just did a podcast on habits, right? How to be able to adopt new habits and also delete and get rid of, break bad habits, right? And so a lot of people always want to usually make a change on behavior. They want to get themselves to work out. They want to get themselves to meditate. They want to get themselves to read more each day. They want to get themselves to X, right? Or they want to stop some behavior. They want to stop smoking. They want to stop eating this food. They want to stop. I always tell people, stop checking your phone the first hour of the day. You've heard this many times, right? You win the first hour of the day, you win the day.
Every day, we are choosing shit that's not in our own best interest, right? So if the world is attacking you and the world wants to fight you, and the world's trying to hold you down, so you're gonna kick yourself in the balls, then you're gonna stop yourself from getting what you dream.
When I want to transform or transcend or make a real positive change, I'm looking at all the other areas of ourselves. So I'm looking at, for example, our environment. Are people setting up their environment to win? So change doesn't just happen at this level of behavior, but when you have to change the environment. So for example, if you want to stop eating a certain food, it helps to be able to not have that food in your home, right? So you change
It's like
the
step one. Don't bring it home.
We must all suffer one of two pains. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. I'm asking you to choose wisely.
So whatever it is that you're trying to achieve in life, the critical component is getting things done. And getting things done in a systematic way. Building the character that's associated with getting things done in a systematic way requires that you become disciplined.
And if we live a lazy, undisciplined life, and we just give in to our feelings, and we act on these emotional impulses, we're going to make very poor choices that we regret later on.
You've got some handouts on your table. Make sure you can locate these. You've got a little booklet. No Try Life booklet. You've got a stack of papers. The first one is a bunch of Zac Brown lyrics. You guys know Zac Brown? Yeah. Yeah, like Zac Brown. You also have a little card that says My 3 Takeaways, and you should have a pen. So I think I provided you everything that you need for success in the next 2 hours, right? On the back of that My 3 Things card, I just want you to write the words self-discipline. Just write those words on the back of that My 3 Things card. Now, I am going to play the Zac Brown song. I want you to follow along with the lyrics on the page. Just follow along. All right, let's see what Canada has. I want you to sing. You got the words in front of you. Start singing. That's good, that's good. Everybody. All right, I'm gonna shut you down right there. So the lyrics to this song, some of you are connecting to that right now. Like as you're reading that, some of you are like, yeah, that's kind of, I feel like that in the space that I'm in right now. Some of you are like, that's a stupid song, I don't know why the hell he's making us sing it. So throughout the next hour and a half or however long we have together, there's going to be pieces of this that you connect to, and there's going to be pieces of this that you go, hey, that's not really where I am right now. I'm cool with that. All I'm asking you to do is just open up your mind just a little bit to the message that we have in the room today. I'm going to tell you about my journey really, really fast. This is my personal journey. At age 6, my parents split, divorced parents in the room. Middle table stayed together. What happened? That's pretty good. I moved around a lot. I did not live in the same house until, I did not live in the same house for more than 6 months until I was in the 10th grade. So my mother was married 8 times, so we were always moving around a lot. She was either running to or running from a man in most of those cases. So you can kind of get a little bit of an idea where I came from. In the 10th grade, I moved back in with my father because in the 9th grade, they kicked me out of school. They wanted me to read The Little Red Pony. You guys know that book? Yeah, I never read it either. They tried to make me to read it. I threw a fit. I threw a chair across the room. I don't like authority. I threw a chair across the room, and they said, you're out of here. And my mom called my dad and said, come get it. I went to college. I moved in with my father when I was 14. I moved out when I was 16, went to college, and I was not invited back after my first semester. Anybody else not invited back after their first semester? Did I got one? Is that you? So what? Be proud of that shit, man. I mean, look around. It's just me and you. The rest of these, oh, we got 3 of us. The rest of these guys listen to the rules. Left college, like most young men. I could swing a hammer and cut grass, so I went and did that for about 4 years, off and on. Started a little company. You don't want to be cutting grass and building fences in Tennessee in the middle of August for too long. So that kind of burnt me out. Went back to college, met a girl, started a second company, got married, had some kids, built a beach house, sold a business, got a dog. So this is my business life. 1993, I started this company called NationLink Wireless. It was actually called NationLink Paging back then. You guys remember pagers? Raise your hand if you had a pager. Beepers, yeah. That was a great business. Unfortunately, if you think about a business model that is recurring revenue, you pay the carrier, the guy that owns the towers, you pay him $1.50 per number, per beeper, and you charge somebody $10 to $12, and you collect that on a monthly basis. Now that doesn't work for like 100, but we had like 40,000 pagers out there on the street. And do the math on that. So I'm like 24-ish, something around that age, and I got this, $8-9 million company that's throwing off almost $3 million a year in profit. Yeah. What'd you say? That's right. Because when you're 24, you can spend $3 million a year pretty quick, just on a bunch of shit you shouldn't be spending that money on. Anyway, so that business went away pretty quickly. As you know, cellular came in, kind of killed the paging industry. We moved went through pagers to cell phones to two-way radios to Nextel to BlackBerry. We were the BlackBerry guys in the U.S. To software, to manufacturing stuff overseas and bringing it into the country for white box trucks, all kinds of stuff, always connected to a cell phone tower. I joined EO in 1997, and I know there's one person in here that's before that. Yeah, I asked that question a lot, and I never get the response of, yeah, I got here before you, so congratulations. I met Vern Harnish in 2004 at a workshop, like most people have ever met Vern Harnish. This is his newest book. Most impactful thing I ever did inside of EO was go to that program. So go to that program. Just don't even think about it. Just go. So sold that business and started this little coaching company. Always wanted to have a coaching company, not just coach. So I wanted to go build another organization. And I was telling you guys earlier, building a coaching organization is way harder than building a traditional business. Now, I've built several traditional businesses in the past. Some we still have and operate, and some we've sold. But that, for some reason, having entrepreneurs, people who have made their own decisions for a long time and run their own companies, become coaches, and us attempting to tell them what they got to go do, doesn't work easily. So we've been able to scale this pretty well. So we worked with about 250 businesses, about 45,000 team members. We've sold 21 of the companies that we've worked with, and the average sale price has been $68 million. So this is a really good kind of metric for us. You implement this stuff, it works, you sell it, you make some money. We have 13 coaches in North America and Western Europe, 10 coordinators, there's about 25 of us, and finally we need an office dog. So that's like 4.5, 5 minutes of me. Everything else is in the book, only to tell you, I am not a public speaker. I am an entrepreneur. It just happens to be a coach that wants this message to get into the brains of people all over the place. You with me? Everybody with me? Say yes. All right. This I want you to remember, and I've already done this to some of you in this room, and it was very uncomfortable when I did it, for me and for you. A coach is somebody who tells you what you don't want to hear, who has you see what you don't want to see, so that you may become what you have always known you can be. And I want you to remember that, because I'm going to say some things to you that are going to piss you off, frankly. Like, I spend my life doing that. That's pretty cool to be able to do that, actually. Anybody seen this statue before? You have. Where have you seen it? Not in real life. Oh, not in real life. Where, were you just Googling statues of men or something? Or we can keep that between us. This statue's on the University of North Carolina campus. It's literally called Self-Made Man. That's the name of the statue. I believe this is total BS. Nobody is self-made. Nobody is self-made. And I've said those words before until I realized, and I had to break down that wall for myself, and I work with other people to break that wall down as well, that we are not self-made. We're not self-made. This is really the truth. This is in Minneapolis, Minnesota, very similar statue. You'll notice over here, big, burly, chiseling their way through life, got it all figured out, right? Who in here has it all figured out? Okay, we're in the right place. Skinny, scared, doing the work every single day, completely blindfolded. This is the truth. And I need you to put yourself a little bit into that space so that you can realize what you need to go do. So flip that My Three Things card over, and at the very top, I just want you to write, who must I become in order to achieve what I want to achieve? Who must I become in order to achieve what I want to achieve? Robert Wagnon. You know Robert Wagnon? Anybody know Robert Wagnon, Houston EO member? Brian, you know him? No, I don't. Really? He's probably been in longer than both of us combined. Okay. Yeah, little short Texan. You know he's a Texan because he wears his boots on the outside of his pants. And he's got his little hat. He was a global membership director for 2 or 3 years when the program first got started, and I came in right behind him. He's the guy that taught me this concept to constantly ask myself who I needed to become. It's not necessarily what you need to go do. You got to really start thinking about who do you need to become in order to achieve what you want to achieve. We're the last ones that want to change. We want everybody else around us to change. Good luck with that. So let's talk about focus for a second.
Here's the story again. Okay. According to ESPN, the baseball team, the Los Angeles Dodgers, played the San Francisco Giants in their 2009 home opening game. In the game, Dodgers second baseman Orlando Hudson hit for the cycle. That means Hudson hit a home run, a triple, a double, and a single, all in one game. The final score of the game was Dodgers 11, the Giants 1.
I want you to think about your day as you watch this video. Not just today, but every day.
How many runs did the Dodgers score in the game?
19.
What team did the Los Angeles Dodgers play? What team did the Los Angeles Dodgers play? What's it called when you get a home run?
This is a typical day in our lives. We wake up in the morning, we put 5 things on a list, or maybe we just have them in our head, and we say, these are things that are important for me to get done today, and then the damn roller coaster starts, right? The bee stinging happens when you walk into the office or you walk outside, whatever it looks like for you. But we live in that environment on a constant basis, and we're gonna do an exercise. Everybody needs to find a partner in the room. Look somebody in the eye and go, hello, partner. All right. Now pay attention, I'm gonna read you the instructions. A's, raise your hands. A's are going to ask the B's series of questions on the sheet that I handed out. So the A's are going to ask the B's a series of questions that are on the sheet. B's, don't be cheating and trying to pre-answer these. It doesn't really matter that much. I am going to show you a list on the next slide. So in a minute, I'm going to click the slide. The B's are going to look at the list on the slide and put the items shown in the correct order in which they occur, starting from the day, the beginning of the day, to the end of the day. What happens in the morning all the way through to the evening. There'll be 6 or 7 things. You just have to put them in order. All you have to do is write down, the first one is number 7, the second one is number 3. You with me? Just put them in order. It's very simple. It should take you 30 seconds. While your partner is asking those questions and you are answering those questions. Now, whoever finishes first, raise your hand. I have a prize for you. Is nobody going to finish this? Did you finish? All right, I got a winner. How was that for you? What?
I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it. Me too. What did you recognize in this little game we just played? Easy or hard? Totally. Did you feel completely distracted? Was it difficult to do? Some people, who wanted to quit? Like, fuck it, I ain't doing it. All right. This is exactly what you are going through every single day. That feeling that you just had, you've just grown completely numb to it. You have the exact same level of distraction. This is just a new way of presenting it to you. That feeling that you just had that, oh man, this is, this should be easy, but I'm switching all over the place. You have that every single day, all day of your life, unless you're really good at not having it. Most people are not. I'm going to show you some tools to get rid of it. All I'm doing is shining a light on it for you. All I'm doing is showing this is what your day is like, and you need to change it. Now, this is every minute on the internet what happens, and I like this. I pulled this off just the other day because it's 17 by comparison to 18. Now, this is every 60 seconds, 973,000 logins on Facebook, 375,000 apps downloaded. They're scrolling 274,000 pics. This is every freaking minute. Every minute. 1.1 million swipes on Tinder. Who's doing that in here? Now think about that. That's what's going on the internet every 60 seconds, leading to more and more of our... Is this going to be more next year or less? More this year? More, absolutely. It's not going to get easier. So you're going to have to change some things in order to focus more. And this blew my mind when I first saw it. In 1992, we, the people, created 100 gigabits of data per day. And in 2018, we created 50,000 gigabits per second. And we're pushing all of that out into the world for consumption by ourselves. So again, it's not getting easier. And the human brain can still only perform one task at a time. People talk about multitasking all the time. You're not, you're switching. Just know that. You're just switching between. You may be damn good at it, but you're not optimal at getting anything done. Because your brain can only still perform one task at a time. Singular focus. So I'm going to take you through some exercises about your life, and we're going to come back and I'm going to show you that you can supremely focus on a very specific task, and most of you will get it right. So turn to page 2 in that little book. If you're going on a trip, a journey, whatever, what is the very first thing that you need to know before you go? No.
Where are you?
What'd you say?
Where are you?
Where you are now. Right? If you go to Air Canada and you're typing in a flight, you type in where you're starting from first. If you go to book a train, it's where you're going from first. In your life, we're going to build a plan for your life. What do you want your life to look like? We need to understand clearly where we are right now. So this is what we call the wheel of life. It's broken down into 5 sections: family, finance, faith, fitness, and friends. Just happens to be a bunch of F's. Each one of these categories goes from 0 in the center to 10 on the outside. On the facing page, there's a few words that could align with what is meant for you by family, so you're going to have to read through those. It doesn't have to align. All I want you to do is put a score in each one of these categories, so you're going to put a dot on this line wherever you are right now in each of those categories. 10, I am 100% satisfied with that area of my life. Never been happier. 0, I don't even know how to spell that area of my life. It's going to look something like this. You with me? So read the little categories, put you a dot on the line, and then connect the dots. We're going to begin with the end in mind. So we're going to create focus around where we want to go. You understand where you are right now clearly, because you just mapped it. We're going to lay out a plan, but we got to create focus, and I'm going to prove to you that you can create focus for yourselves by doing another exercise. So I'm going to show you a 35-second video clip. Some of you may have seen this video before. If you have, play along. In this video, there are people in white shirts and people in black shirts. White shirts and black shirts. They are passing a basketball. Anybody in here play basketball in college? There's always one. Overhead, chest pass, bounce pass, right? So the people in the white shirts are going to be passing a basketball. Your job is to count the number of times they pass the ball. Overhead, chest pass, bounce pass. Not the people in the black shirts, just the ones in the white shirts. As soon as the video is over, I want you to write your answer down, and then you're going to get a consensus answer amongst your table. Table must report one answer. It is a contest, and there will be prizes. Are you ready? First step is just watch the video and count the number of times people in the white shirts pass the basketball.
Count how many times the players wear what to pass the ball.
All right, write your answer down. Write it down. Really, really fast. Collaborate at your table. So give me an answer. 14. 16. 16? 15? 15 at this table. Anybody, what did you write on your piece of paper?
I just watched for the gorilla.
Yeah. Proving my point. Proving my point. We're getting there. Hang on. If you have not seen this video before, did you see anything weird? A gorilla. Never seen it before, saw a gorilla. Okay. Raise your hand if you've never seen it before and you saw the gorilla. Raise your hand. Never? You saw something come across the stage, right? There's two other things. A player from the black team left the stage. That's exactly right. I just said it a little more specific. That's fine. No, you did a great job. Anything else?
Wasn't there a shirt change?
A what?
A shirt change?
No. Yeah. Take your shirt off. We're going to put, yeah. No, that did not happen. The curtain changed from red to that color gold. So it was bright red when we started. I'm going to show you this again, then we're going to talk about it for just a second. Raise your hand if you got pretty close to a number and you did not see the gorilla. Like, raise your hand if you didn't see the damn gorilla.
What's the number?
We'll get there, bro. I won't let you fail. Now, raise your hand again if you did not see the gorilla the first time you saw the video. It's okay. For you to be able to watch a video and somebody doing something and not see a gorilla walk into the room, stop, beat on his chest a little bit, and leave and exit. How did we create that? How did we create that level of focus? Total clarity. What else? Competitiveness, exactly. I said, hey, there's a prize. Total bullshit, no prizes.
We get to clean the tables up.
We also made it collaborative. So you got to participate because you got to compare to everybody else at this table and you need to get the damn answer right? We made it highly, highly important. As silly as it may be, we at heart are all competitive to some degree, and we made that important. So when you understand clearly what you want in your life and you make it important, those distractions will begin to fall away. You won't see the gorilla that walks into your office and says, hey, do you got a second? I need to talk to you about something. You won't even see that anymore. Make sense? Kind of a cool exercise. I'll give you access to all these videos and you can go screw with your friends. So as my friend Jack says, this is my accountability partner, by the way. Anybody know Jack Daly? Yeah, so he and I go to head-to-head on stuff. Focused on the urgent, or you focused on the important. Don't focus on the urgent at the expense of the important. So don't focus on the monkey at the expense of how many times they pass the basketball. So let's talk about your puzzle. If you're going to put together a puzzle, what's the first thing you do? What? Whoa, what?
Look at the box.
All right, hold on to that. What'd you say? Get the edge pieces. What else? Flip them over. Clear the table. Somebody said pour the beer. So Michael said, look at the picture. And that's exactly right. Like, we don't ever put together a puzzle without at first at least looking at the picture on the box. Fair? How much harder do you think it is to put a puzzle together without knowing what it's supposed to look like? Some, right? It's got to be some degree more difficult. Or flip side of that is, if I know what it's supposed to look like, it's much easier to put it together. Same thing is true with our lives. If we know what it's supposed to look like at certain points, then it makes our decision making very easy. Should I go this way or that way? Well, that aligns with what I want it to look like at the end, therefore I'm going to go this way. About half this room do not have business plans. You need to know what your picture, your puzzle picture looks like for your business, and you need to share it with your team because they're out there putting these pieces together incorrectly, most likely, because they don't know what it's supposed to look like. Think about that. It's the very opening chapter of that book. So what is your puzzle? I love this quote. Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I'm wise, so I am changing myself. Rumi. And I showed this, I think at MIT, and somebody said, who's Rumi? Yeah. I said, that's the dude you live with in college. He's your roomie. So where do you write down your goals, what you want? You can write them wherever you want to. Somebody in here said they had a vision board earlier. Anybody else do vision boards, pictures, and put them up and kind of look at what they want for their lives, get it very, very clear? Today we're going to write them in this little No Try Life booklet. I want you to put them in other places. So when you know what you want, make sure that you're writing them down and getting them very, very vivid, which we're going to start doing now. This is going to be your guide, so open it up to the inside cover and just write your name at the very top. You don't need to write your address and your reward if found and all that stuff, but you do need to write your accountability partner, which is going to be the person you've been playing with all evening, and their cell phone number. All right, turn to page 6 when you're finished with that. Turn to page 6 in this little playbook. This is what we call our flow chart. Flow state is essentially, if you play sports in here, you guys have played sports, people play sports before, you kind of get in there, it's easy, it just works, things slow down, time passes really fast, it's just, you get into flow. And we can treat ourselves in ways that help us get into flow. So I want you to think about, on your very best day, what is it that you are doing on a regular basis? Now, some examples of what that is are written on this little page. So, drinking water. It's a pretty simple example, but if that's something that you need to focus on, you need to drink 64 ounces of water a day to keep yourself healthy and in flow. When you feel good, you're smart, your reactions are high. Vitamins, exercise, read, meditate. Fill in your own blanks. Who wrote something about exercise? Raise your hand. All right, who wrote something about nutrition? Raise your hand. All right, who's got something about like connecting with spouse or something like that? Who's got sex on there? Keep your hands up really high. Look around, identify one another. There you go. Just want to make sure you knew who was who. All right, now I need you to denote this with an emblem. Pay attention. So drink 64 ounces of water might be a D. Meditate for 20 minutes might be an M. So look back at your list. It could be a symbol of some sort. It could be a letter. It could be a number. I don't really care. You just need to know what it means. We're going to create a system so that you will go do these things on a regular basis. Life goals. In 3 minutes, I want you to write, there's 3 boxes. In 3 minutes, I want you to write, what are your 3 big life goals? What do you want? Make sure you write this in past tense, as if it's already happened. Be as specific as you possibly can. What's always interesting is in somewhere between 3 and 5 minutes, most of you have the ability to sit down and write down what you want for your life. Like it's stuck in here, and getting it out and putting it to pen to papers doesn't take us much time. But we don't do it. Yeah. It's silly. It doesn't take much time. Before you share with your partner, this is the best descriptor of why this work is really important. This applies both to business and in our lives. This axis is growth and complexity. Whose life is there's always somebody, less complex now than it was 5 years ago? Less complex. The majority of it, the vast majority of people, life does not get less complex year over year. Fair? Who's had kids in the last 5 years? Yeah. More complex. There you go, same thing. Well, that might actually give you less complexity. So growth and complexity is on one axis, time is on the other axis. And this is what I want you to think about, especially the EO members in this room. If this is you and you're on this continuum of growth, EO members have the ability, like we were talking about EMP earlier, and access to global events and going to president's meetings and reading a bunch of books. Like we have the luxury of being in this seat where we can get access to a lot of learning. And some of us who aren't an EO member have lots of learning and we go chase a lot of it. This is how we keep up with complexity. If your business is growing 20% per year, you and your teams have to grow at 20% per year. How many of you have had the experience, you look back and you go, Steve was really damn good at that job. He's not good at it anymore. Yeah, I mean, a business will outgrow a person. You will outgrow others in your life. I want you to think about that for a second. I can put your team down here. There's a pen. I can put your team down here if we're talking about business, or I can put your spouse down here, or I can put your friends down here. So just know that as you go on this path, you're going to create a gap between other people, unless you can continually bring them up to this same speed, especially spouses. And I say that because this is my experience. And is this anybody else's experience in here right now? A few people, right? Yeah, you were getting it, right? Thank God. Not that you're having it too, just that I'm not alone. Yeah, I get it. I mean, but this is a real thing. So you either have it now or you're going to have it at some point, whether it be with your team, your spouse, your friends, because as you go on this path, you got to figure out how to kind of mind this gap. And somebody asked me once, how do I do that? I don't know the answer to that part. I just know that there is a gap, and we got to continually have conversations about the gap. I have some tools I can share with you later if you like. So, share with your partner your 3 life goals. So if you have a list now of 3 things you want for your life, we're going to begin thinking about what do we need to do in 2019 to put us on the path to achieve that for our lives, right? It's fairly simple, thing we would do in business, but I don't want you to write it just yet. This is an acronym that most everybody has heard at some point, and we are, believe me, we set thousands of priorities with companies all over the world. We suck at this. Making something very, very, very specific, especially when it comes to making it measurable, we're just really, really bad at this. Entrepreneurs are really bad at it. Describe to your team sometimes what your business is supposed to look like in 3 years. Being specific is really important when you do priorities and goals. Anybody bought a new car in here recently, like in the last couple months? What'd you buy? F-150. F-150. This is probably a shitty example. I have an F-150 as well, but is it a special one or? No. Okay. What did you get?
Toyota Sienna.
Toyota Sienna.
It's a minivan.
Oh, a minivan. Is that the special edition?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What color is it?
White.
White. So it's a white Toyota Sienna minivan. Interior is?
SE.
Sorry. It's an SE. It's a minivan. It's $20,000 more than everyone else on the road. What color is the interior?
Black.
Black leather interior. Nice.
Yeah, well, dude, it's for puke. I got 3 kids, man. Leather wipes better than cloth.
So play with me real quick. So you go to the dealership, you pick out this Sienna SE, white, black interior. You get into this thing and you leave the dealership. Now, before you went into the dealership, you didn't see that car anywhere on the road.
No.
After you left the dealership, you started recognizing them all the time. So true. The other example I'll use is, who has had kids in here? So Mandy in my office is on her 3rd one since she's been working with me for 6 years. That's crazy. And she said to me once, she said, hey, you know, before I was pregnant, I never noticed pregnant women, and now that I'm pregnant, I see them everywhere. You guys have that experience? Do you have that experience? The point is, you have to get it specific and clear in your brain so that your brain will actually open up and allow you to see and experience things. That's why specificity is so important when you set goals. It needs to be incredibly, incredibly clear. White, Sienna, SE, black interior, right? All of that needs to be laid out. Once you're in the thing and you got the smell all around you, it's you, it's in your brain. Now you see it everywhere. The clearer you can be on this, the faster you're going to get what you want out of your life and out of your business. And your team will do it faster if you get that really, really clear. Your spouse, your friends, all these people down here, if you can help them understand clearly what it is, they will help you get it. But you have to do it first. So when we get to that part, I want you to be very clear. What's wrong with this? Round is a shape. But this is the way we set goals. Like, people in here have said that. This year, I'm getting in shape. no idea what that actually means. So you got to get specific. If you can't define it, you can't measure it. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it.
Okay, now Lauren's gonna catch it.
You seen this?
Okay, it's called the trust fall. Okay, trust fall. Ready, set, go.
Not specific, right? What is the specific result? I want to get in shape versus I have a healthy lifestyle, weigh less than 185, I have a blood pressure under this by this particular date. Make sense? The more clarity you put around it, your odds exponentially go up for getting what you want. So you've got to be specific. These are what we call weak words. Spend more time with my kids this year. What does more mean? We say it to our team members and our friends and all those people all the time. We got to do more. Great. There's more. What's really more? So make sure you put a metric around it. Extra, try, faster. Make sure, I'll leave this up here. Continue doing. Like, just remove these words from your language. It will help you quite a bit. So on page 9, 3 little boxes. Begin with I. Write it in past tense. Be as specific as you can. What are your 3 big goals and priorities for 2019? You might look back at your life goals and go, what do I need to get done in 2019 that has alignment back to those? What are those things that you want to achieve this year? Here's what I've learned over the years. Look around the room at each other really quick. 4% of the people in this room will do what I ask you to do today. Now, all of you are going to agree to do it, but only 4% will actually follow through. About 15% of you will do little pieces of it, which means 85% of you won't do any of it after today. I'm cool with that, except I wish I knew who the 4% was because we could just go in there and get it done a lot faster.
Yeah, but only 3% of people have written down goals, so you just help 96% of people.
Got a little bit farther, but I hadn't got to what I want you to do yet, because the execution of this is what's important. I'm going to move you to the why piece of this. And you need to understand why what you've written in this book is truly important to you. Raise your hand if you wrote something down that you've basically said to yourself for at least the last 5 years you're going to do. Yeah. Why haven't you already done it? Right? That's a real, you have to ask yourself that question. My answer is because you don't understand why it's important to you. And I'm going to tell you a story. It looks like this. When we do work with companies, one of the things that we do is we create personal plans with the team members and the individuals in those companies, and we do what we call BHAGs. So everybody has a BHAG for the year. They write it down, it's tracked, and we talk about it every single quarter. So we have accountability around a better human being as well as a better business. And about 5 years ago, I'm in a machine manufacturing business. Anybody around machine manufacturing businesses at all in here, right? Who works in a machine shop? Who works in a machine shop? What do they look like? They look like this? Yeah, most of them are like 55-year-old men. They look exactly like this. That's machine shop guys. So whole room full of machine shop guys. All of them look exactly the same. This guy comes up to the front of the room, and he says, this year, my BHAG is lose 40 pounds. Now, do you think he said that to himself once or twice before? Most likely. My question to him, he's standing right here, my question to him is, why is that important? His answer is, to be healthy. Decent answer. Why is it important for you to be healthy? So I can be around for my kids. Why is it important for you to be around for your kids? Because I want to walk my daughter down the aisle. Why is it important for you to walk your daughter down the aisle? And this goes on at that level for, 5 minutes or so. I'm like level 10 with him. And finally, he starts crying in front of all of his team members. And he says, look, when I was 8 years old, my dad died. He was fat, and he smoked, and he never got off the couch. And he died, and it hurt like hell. And I don't want my kids to feel that pain. That's why I have to lose this 40 pounds. Perfect. Because he's been lying to himself with be healthy, be around for the kids. None of that shit that mattered enough. But for him to tie it back to his childhood when his father died at 8 years old and the pain that he felt, and he was going to protect his children from that pain, was enough for him to change his lifestyle. So until you clearly understand why something is truly important to you, you're not going to change your lifestyle. So the next few minutes, I want you to take those notes that you wrote down. Goal number 1 for 2019, goal number 2 for 2019, goal number 3 for 2019, and I want you to ask yourself, why is that important? Get that answer, write it on a scratch piece of paper if you have to, that's fine. Look at that answer and ask self, why is that important? Why does that matter? Get another answer. Ask about that answer. Why does that matter? Why does that matter? Keep going deep into this. Now, you're not going to make it up through all 3 for time's sake. This is a long exercise. Do it at home. But get through at least 1, maybe 2. But go deep into why this is important to you. 9 times out of 10, the reason that you truly want something goes all the way back to something that happened before you were 15 years old. What I want you to do is share with your partner why this is important to you. So it looks like, hey, in 2019, this is my goal, and this is why it's important. However, your partner is now your coach. So I want the coach to really intently listen to what you're saying and ask, why does that matter? Why is that important? Tell me how that felt. Why do you think this is any different? I need you to be a coach and ask a few really tough questions. You guys know how to do this, but help them to understand why this is really important. You got it? So we're going to spend a few minutes in this. Just go back and forth. If you only get through 1, that's totally fine. But start with, this is my first goal for 2019. This is why it's important. And be a coach to that other person. Help them understand why it's important. When you're ready, go ahead and start. Yeah. It is difficult. Mostly it's because we let the other person off really easily. Like, you intuitively know you need to kind of tear at the scab a little bit to get them to admit what's really going on. I heard you guys know who David Goggins is? He's a Navy SEAL. He's also airborne ranger. He calls himself the hardest man in the world or something. He does like 100-mile, he's crazy. But he has this great quote. He says, when I have a conversation with somebody when they want my help, I'll let them feel sorry for themselves for a little bit, and then we're going to go chase the evil that's in them. It's a pretty heavy statement. It's also very, very true. Some of you agree with me, I told you. Some of you are going to be totally in line. Some of you are going to be like, oh my God, this is crazy stuff. This is an example of a well-written goal. I want to feel confident about myself. I am sick and tired of not stepping up and missing opportunities to live. So I will work out at the gym at least 4 hours per week, 8 glasses of water a day, consume less than 2,200 calories. It's got all the components built into one single piece. And we're going to talk about execution. You've got life plans. You got 2019. You kind of begun to understand why something is important to you. You sleep on that for the next few days and can really kind of think about it. How many of you meditate at all? Like at all? Oh, there's a pretty good number in here. I want you to put that into your brain. Why is that important to me? And then meditate on it. See what comes into your mind. So we're going to talk about daily rituals. So earlier I asked you to write down what is your flow chart, the things you need to do on a daily basis. The rule of 1 simply says to take one action, large or small, every day towards achieving your goal. If you take big things and break them down into small things, they are a lot easier to get done. Big things broken down into small things. Turn to page 15. Today is day 1 of 30. Day 1 of 30. At the top of that page are 5 little boxes for your flow chart items. I only want you to fill in 3 or less. So at the top, go back and look at your flow chart. You remember you put those little symbols or letters or numbers? I just want you to fill in 3 or less, not even all 5. But on day 1, if yours is meditation and it's an M, if it's water and it's a W, and if it's gym and it's a G, I just want you to write those 3 letters or less at the top of that page. Pick 3 from your list. The next thing I want you to do is where it says priority number 1, number 2, and number 3, I simply want you to rewrite your annual priority. Those 3 things you said were important that you just did a why discovery exercise on, I just want you to rewrite them right there in those little boxes. 3 most important things you're going to accomplish all damn year, and you have to go look back. We're going to blazon them into your brain in a very, very clear manner. This exercise is to rewrite them every day for 30 days. Just simply rewrite them every day for 30 days, starting today. So Once you have them rewritten, I want you to commit to one action for each one. So just below it, write, what are you going to do today toward your 2019 number one priority? What are you going to do today towards your 2019 number two priority? I want you to take one action every day. So the goal here is just rewrite them every day for 30 days, and then write in what are you going to do today towards it, and go do that thing. Very, very easy to do, right? Anybody disagree that you think this is too hard for you? It's not hard. I'll give you an out. I don't care if the thing that you write in that box is sit for 5 seconds and think about my goal. You don't have to go run the marathon. Think about running the marathon. Google marathon. I don't care. But I want you taking some action every day for 30 days. Fair? Does anybody think they're not going to do, like, tell me now. Like, I'm not doing this. Everybody have this? One task per day. You've got this, 2 or 3 things written down, so you're going to start this habit of getting yourself in flow by taking your vitamins, meditating, whatever you wrote down on the list, having sex. I think yours was sex every day. This is what it looks like at the end of each day. You're just checking it off. This is your checkbox. Okay? Every day, this is what, so if I have a healthy lifestyle, weigh less than, today I will run 3.5 miles, check, I did it. Simple, right? This is a very simple thing. Here's your kicker. You ready? You have an accountability partner, somebody you've been working with all day. You have their cell phone number. At the end of every day, before you go to sleep for the next 30 days, you text that person and say, did my 3. Okay. And they text back and say, did my 3. If you don't do them, text them and say, I didn't do my 3. If we have a goal, good. If we have one and we write it down, our odds go up of getting it done. If we write it down and we tell somebody, the odds go up of getting it done. We are really good as human beings at disappointing ourselves. We've grown to the point of disappointing ourselves. We'll tell ourselves something, not do it, we don't care anymore. But we won't tell somebody else and ask them to hold us accountable. We'll go do that shit for them. Do it for them until you do it for yourself. Anybody that says, I'm not doing this? I gave you an out just a little while ago. Everybody in? You want to change something? Say yes? Yeah. Look at your partner right now. Look at your partner and just repeat after me. I will text you my 3 every day for the next 30 days. If you do this for 30 days, you will own those goals for the rest of the year. You won't even have to remember, they'll be in your brain. They'll be your white Sienna SE black interior all year. Shit will happen for you all year long. If you don't do this, it won't happen. 4% of this room, although every single person just committed, 4% of you will actually do it. 4%. I don't know who that is. Maybe you do. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret to your success is found in your daily routine. Everybody on the planet knows this right here. Everybody knows this. Set a goal, make a plan, do the work. Set a goal, make a plan, do the work. Straightforward and simple. What do you want for your life? Set a goal, make a plan, do the work. Now, I also know this. If it's important, you're going to find a way, right? And, yeah. Now, this is what I want to show you. So I just had you go through and build out life plan 2019 and a 30-day execution system. This is my life plan. So this is me at age 65 in different categories. This is relationships, this is achievements, this is rituals, and this is wealth. That's what my life looks like by design at age 65. I'm 51. So at age 65, that's what it looks like. This is 2019. I ask you to write down 3 things. Start there. These are everything that I will achieve this year in relationships, achievements, rituals, and wealth that has alignment back to what I want at the end of my life. And I'm happy to send you a copy of this, but like my ultimate accountability is doing what I do right now, because I'm showing you all this stuff. I'm more than happy to send you copies of this if you want to go to a bigger version of what I've asked you to do today. Or maybe in 6 months when you think you might be ready. This was, so we break it down. Life, year, quarter, so Q1, This was Q4 last year. Something I want you to notice in here, there are some no's, like right here. I don't get it all done, but I get a hell of a lot done. Just because I write it down, check it off, and I have a system to follow. So I use this, just a cheap paper calendar. I think I have two of these that are blank I brought with me. If anybody wants to jump on this bandwagon, see me, I'll give you a copy of it. Age 65 is right here, 2019 is right here. I've got 2 words that I focus on for this year, discipline and simplicity. And then I break that down from quarter into month, and I write it. So here's the things I needed to achieve in January, and then I track it every single day. So see this, breakfast, vitamin, stretch, Nicole, kids, 30 minutes, water. That's all the stuff I ask you to come up with. I put that right here, and then X them off as I do them. Make sense? So I track I'm doing exactly what I'm asking you to do. You've got a junior version, I just got a bigger version. I do exactly what, I will never ask anybody to do anything I'm not doing myself. I also put down a gratitude statement every day. I think that helps me. I'll measure how many miles I'm running that day. I'll measure sit-ups and push-ups and a bunch of other crazy stuff. And because somebody's always asked me, why don't I use an app for this? Today's the last day of January. So today, I sat down and started building out February in here, which causes me every 30 days to pause for 90 minutes or so and look back at my life and look back at 2019, rebuild for the quarter or the month, right? So it's the systematic check-in process. Make adjustments to things, put things on there that I need to get done. This was tracking for 2018. So breakfast, all this stuff is on here. I've added some things this year. I added handstands this year. I want to walk on stage in May on my hands, but can anybody do walk on their hands in here? It's fucking hard. It's really hard. Anyway, 10K days, push-ups, sit-ups, 10 days. So I track all this stuff, and the only reason I track it is to improve it, so I know what's going on. So again, there's my contact information. I'm happy to pass this around if anybody wants to check it out, and just make sure I get it back, because I'm completely lost about that. We got about 15, 20 minutes or so for booze or questions or both. We'll start with questions.
First of all, round of applause.
Yeah, too. How long, obviously that's evolved over years. When did you start doing it, and do you do it the same time every day, basically, and how long does it take?
So I thought I had back 6 years. If I was live in my software, it would be back 6 years. And what's interesting is when you go back and look at like 2014 and 2013, there's maybe 10 things for the year. So each year, the capacity to achieve just continues to, and it's damn near exponential. So 10 becomes 20, 20 becomes 40 over that course of a period of time. So that's interesting. I don't do it at the exact same time. I travel 150, 170 days a year. So I'm, on an airplane or some kind of weird something, getting somewhere. So there are times I have to play catch up at night. I'm just very disciplined about it. If I do miss something in the morning, I'll pick it up at night. But I don't do it at the same time. Most of the time it's in the mornings, but sometimes it has to be at night. Or on an airplane.
But you do it daily.
Daily, yeah. Yeah, the key is daily. Now, when I first started, I would miss days. So that calendar, 3 days would have been completely blank. The key is to pick it back up on the 4th day and get back at it. Just like everybody in this room, you've had, going to the gym, going, oh, missed the day, missed another day, oh shit, I'm gonna be sore when I go now. You just gotta go back.
When you started, did you have trouble with keeping it honest? It
Tell me
seems
what-
like you're very diligent now, and you would not put a check mark if you didn't, but when you first started, did you kind of be like, oh, I got 90 out of 100 push-ups, it counts as a check mark?
No, because that's a lie.
Okay.
I thought I had an example on here. It may have been, I don't have it on here. But there are places where, 750 miles last year was one of the things, and it was like 689. So it was no,
Yeah.
689.
Cool.
And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with missing by a few. There are 365 handwritten notes. I wanted to write a handwritten note of appreciation to somebody else every single day last year. 588 was the outcome. So I'm cool to miss over or miss under. The point is, if you set a goal, 750, there ain't no way I would have done 689 or whatever it was if I hadn't said 750. But don't shortchange yourself and go, well, I was close. Close doesn't count.
Just so I can understand your process, annually you plan out the year and then you'll break that down into quarters when you do the annual, or each quarter you write each quarter?
Each quarter you write each quarter. So each quarter I go back in and I look at what I want for the year. Now every month I'm looking at it to make adjustments because we learn as we go. And something on here may become important or not. I may want to make an adjustment. And then every quarter I'll rewrite due for the quarter. Then I'll break that down into the month.
Cool, thanks.
This is really what we do in business. It's no different.
So,
Let me go here.
go ahead.
You're the two best dressed guys in the room.
So Andy, you're saying, so you complete 1 month, you're not looking at February. On the February month, are you saying you reflect back in January, you sort of fill out the entire month with something you want to achieve every single day, is that what you were saying? And then,
Yeah. Yes.
and then each day you're adding more to it, sort of thing, or?
No. I'll change some stuff throughout the year. So I'm gonna add. We were talking about this on the drive up. So I don't have cold. Anybody do cold exposure stuff in here, like ice baths or cold showers or whatever? Yeah. So I'm gonna add that in March to that list, not in February, but in March, the list as one of these little checks.
Or you just come to Canada walk around.
Yeah, true. And I'm gonna take vitamins off, because it's a complete habit, I don't even need to track it. So I'm gonna switch one out, and it'll be in the 3rd month of the 1st quarter. But you can see here, so that was January, the number of days I did those things, February, March, and a quarterly total. So I do look back and I track it, and then I'll get a quarterly total for my, kind of see where I'm at. And what's interesting is you begin to notice patterns. If I'm gonna miss a goal, I miss it on Thursday or Fridays. I never miss it on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. So as the week goes on, I become less resilient and with less willpower.
What I'm really asking is on February now, so you're gonna now look at February, what are you gonna do on February? So I'm trying to understand.
That's gonna look exactly the
So
same.
you're gonna fill it out now, sort of?
Yes, so this is June last year, but it's a brand new month. So I write all these exact same things down here at the bottom.
Okay, and then each day, what are you doing?
Tracking them, just checking them off. So they'll look like this. Breakfast, did it. Vitamins, did it. Stretch, connected with my wife, connected with my kids.
Oh, okay, and what you're writing there is what you're grateful for, I got it.
Yeah, this is a gratitude statement.
Got it.
Yeah, I just fill a little box with a simple gratitude statement, which you guys were my gratitude statement today, by the way.
So it's just checking off these things.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Grateful you didn't go to Canada January 31st.
No, I'm grateful for the learning and the sharing and the 4% of you fuckers who are gonna listen.
So I'm experiencing this thing I call the duality of time, and how it's so like paradoxical, and how someone could spend so much time doing that, and for some people, even myself included, like holy effing shit, I'm not gonna find the time to do that unless I'm passing it along with my pencil. But I feel like there's some paradox there where you spend more time to do this type of shit, and then all of a sudden you have more time to go crush it. I wonder if you just speak to that, if that's
Yeah.
true, and what your experience today.
In my business, I spend about 6 minutes a day in tracking and keeping up with stuff. I probably spend the equal amount per day in writing a gratitude statement and checking boxes off of what I need to go get done. Now, getting it done is what takes more time. But in the operating system, it doesn't take that much time. I'll spend about 90 minutes at the end of the month just resetting everything, looking at what I need to go achieve, and then rewriting it as I've said. And I'll spend a day to a day and a half a year. So I usually do mine in late November, early December. I'll do a first draft of what I want the next year to look like. And then I'll recalculate what happened for the year and keep up with it. And that's usually a full day or day and a half. I have a beach house down in the Panhandle, so I usually go down there for 3 or 4 days just to get away for it. It does, I mean, discipline shit takes time. But my capacity to achieve whatever is exponentially higher than it was before I started doing this.
first, let's just have a big round of applause for Andrew. If anyone's looking for information, all the contact info's up there. You can contact us. We can put you in touch with him as well. Another round of applause for staff and food at Cutting Club was really, really good.